Hello everyone, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to explain the working of hydraulic cylinders hooked in series. That means if the hydraulic cylinders are synchronized in series, there is a extension one after the other, and how those cylinders works, and also what are the applications where we are going to use. I'm going to discuss in this session. First, I will take the line diagram of this hydraulic cylinders synchronized in series. The similar the working we have explained with the hydraulic cylinder sequencing. We should first know that what are the difference between the hydraulic cylinder sequencing and hydraulic cylinder synchronization. Hydraulic cylinders in that one after the other the cylinder extends. The one cylinder first extends, and after the extension of the first cylinder, the second cylinder extends. We are not going to bother about what is the velocity is there, the extension velocity, what is there. We are not going to bother about it. But here in this hydraulic cylinder synchronization, the speed should be synchronized. The extension of the cylinder, with what speed taking place, the same speed should be associated with the cylinder 2 also. That is the hydraulic cylinder sequencing. Both cylinders should extend at the same cylinder, both should be synchronized. The synchronizing means both should be one after the other, the coordinated the speed should be maintained. That is the synchronization we are going to call. It consists of a tank, filter, pump, pressure relief valve, and 4 by 3 direction control valve, cylinder 1 and cylinder 2, which are to be sequenced. When the pump is put on, then we have to operate the direction control valve. If the direction control valve at the top envelope, the fluid from the pump will be flow in this direction and goes to the enters into the piston end side of the cylinder 1. Then cylinder 1 will be extended. Cylinder will be 1 will be extended, and the extension speed will be same as that of the flow rate of the fluid to the this blank end side of the piston. Okay, that is the extension of the first cylinder will be taking place. Here, the whatever the fluid is there on the rod end side of the cylinder 1 will be close to the cylinder 2, and here the area of the cylinder 2 which should be maintained in such a way that the area of the rod end side of the cylinder 1, that means cylinder 1 area minus of the rod area of the cylinder 1, and that should be equal to that of the piston end side area of the cylinder 2, because at what speed the cylinder 1 is extending, at the same speed the cylinder 2 also extends. The extension of the cylinder will be starting place when the fluid from the rod end side of the cylinder 1 will be enters into the cylinder 2. The extension will be taking place, and the fluid whatever contained in the rod end side of the cylinder 2, that goes through the direction control valve to the tank. This is extension of the cylinder one after the other, cylinder 1 and 2. And always this circuit should be filled with a fluid. Otherwise, it will takes the time. If it is a line is filled with the fluid, then only the extension will be taking place immediate during the extension of the cylinder 1. Then during the return stroke, when the direction control valve is connected to the bottom envelope, and during that time the fluid will be entering to the here rod inside of the cylinder 2, rod inside of the cylinder 2, and this fluid will be allowed to retract the cylinder 2. Then the fluid whatever the filled on the piston end side of the cylinder 2 will be flowing back to the rod end side of the cylinder 1. Then retraction of the cylinder 2 1 also starts. Then when the retraction of the cylinder 2 starts, at the same time the retraction of the cylinder 1 also starts with the same speed. Then the fluid from the piston end side of the cylinder 1 will be going back and to the through this one. Okay, through the direction control valve goes to the tank. And like this, the operation of the this synchronized cylinder in a series taking place. And the explanation about this also we can take. The circuit shows that the hooking two cylinders in series in a simple way to synchronize the two cylinders. For example, during the extending stroke of the cylinders, fluid from the pump is delivered to the blank end of the cylinder 1 via the flow path shown in the upper envelope of the direction control valve. As the cylinder 1 extends, fluid from the rod end is delivered to the blank end of the cylinder 2. Blank end of the cylinder 2. Note that both the ends of the cylinders and the entire pipeline between the cylinders are filled with a fluid. Okay, that is requirement. The fluid returns to the tank from the rod end of the cylinder 2 and as it extends via DCV. For the two cylinders to be synchronized, the piston area of the cylinder 2 must be equal to the difference between the area of the piston and the rod of the cylinder 1. That is requirement for the speed. To maintain the same speed, this requirement is there. And for the return stroke, the similar operation will be taking place. If you like, share, subscribe, and comment.